Yo guys, Spider here, and this is something I want to do for you guys, keep you up to date on all the latest news, including patch notes for the WarZ now that the NDA is gone. But a couple things that came out last night. The first is that their servers, the WarZ servers, have been under heavy DDoS attacks or denial of service attacks, and basically, you know, if you're looking at a website, for instance, denial of service is, you know, people write these scripts to hit the site and, you know, get page requests over and over again, hundreds of thousands of page requests every minute, let's say. And, you know, depending on what kind of server your website is running on, it may not be able to handle that many. It may not be able to service the other hundreds of thousands of people that are trying to get onto that site. So the same goes for the game servers here. How do you like the Pumpkinhead, by the way? That was something they added in on Halloween. I like the Pumpkinhead. You can buy it in the marketplace, or you can actually get it from NGTZombies. You can find them in and around the Colorado game world. So anyways, if you're having problems with the updater or the game in general, that may be the case. They're continually working on it. It may take some time. Who knows, over a couple of days or a few hours. I don't know. Maybe it's already fixed. We're not sure. Okay, so the second news that came out, or the second forum post, and I'll link you to the DDoS post as well as the one I'm going to discuss here. All right, so the second bit of news comes from a gentleman by the name of Johnny Truant, and he's kind of made, I mean, he actually says it himself, that he's made a sudden presence on the forums for an introduction. It's not actually Johnny Truant, his name's Tyler. That's Johnny Truant's just his forum name. He is the senior producer for the WarZ, and he notes that much of my time has been spent behind the scenes in development, but now you'll find me more present, and I will endeavor to answer your questions. Bottom line here is that we love our community, and you are all a very important part of the development process. Your feedback and testing is helping us to put together the best possible game we can. Now, there have been a lot of questions about a global inventory wipe. Now, when people purchase a game, and I don't remember seeing this, I don't really care, to be honest with you, but I don't remember seeing this, but people have stated that, you know, when they purchased a game, there were statements made that there would not be a global inventory wipe. And basically, you know, if you go into your inventory, I mean, here's my global inventory, and it basically means that it's going to remove everything that I've collected to date in the game. And you know, there were issues with the game. When the game originally came out, they had a sniper spawn in one of the helicopter locations, or there was a helicopter crash location, and you could just server hop, and people collected, like, you know, 40, 50 snipers, full ammo, and they have all this stuff. So, you know, to combat that, and plus, you know, they're toying with the amount of loot that that is generated in the world that people can collect, as well as weapons. So, you know, people have collected quite an inventory of weapons and everything for that matter. So people have been asking for global wipe. People were concerned that, hey, you know, when I bought the game, you said you weren't going to wipe in people's inventories, and they've gone as far. It's kind of funny. Gone as far to say they're going to file lawsuits and stuff. And guys, I mean, everybody's a freaking lawyer on the internet apparently. But typically, guys, with games, there's not too much you can do, and usually in terms and conditions, the most the game company is ever liable to a player of their game is the original purchase price of the game, and that's typically the limitation of liability on their end. I mean, okay, you get your money back, big deal. I'm all for the global inventory wipe. I'm all for wiping of stats, and they actually state the global inventory, they will be wiping all inventories. They will be resetting players' reputations. They'll give you back your gold coins. So if you purchased a package that gave you gold coins in game, like we had, I'm not sure, there's our gold coins and our money. So I will have refunded my gold coins. My money will go back to zero. We will reset, resetting all character stats. So my kills and time survived. This is actually a new character I created. Alignment, etc. will all be reset. They don't, however, have a final date. So they don't know when this is going to happen. I mean, there's still an alpha, and there are still a lot of things they want to do to tweak the game and tweak the loot drops, etc. So until that time, that's when they'll actually implement this wipe. So they don't know when that will be. Item spawns. There's been some complaints about item spawns, like food doesn't spawn often enough, and I mentioned that in my tips and tactics video. Too many weapons spawn in certain areas, no weapons in others. So he's actually going to be sweeping the map, confirming a proper distribution of item spawns in the coming days to mitigate issues there. And people have been complaining, oh my god, there's so many hats! So many hats! So to fix the issue of hats taking up item spawns, he says that they'll be implementing a fix that will cause spawn items to despawn after a certain amount of time, freeing up those slots for other items. PvP versus PvE, and this is like player versus player, or player versus environment, I guess. I think that's what the E is. There's been a number of discussions about PvP and PvE when Stronghold servers are up and running, and we'll have a bunch of smaller, super sexy maps for you as well. These can be password protected so you can run your server as you like. And that was the thing with the PvE, although you do have to, I'm sure there's a purchase price for the Stronghold servers. With the Legendary Pack that I bought, I get 6 months free for a Stronghold server, so that's fine. I mean, PvE, honestly, this is like a survival game, and there is PvP. But a lot of people have been asking for PvE, so it looks like the solution there will be basically your own server. Social clans are in active development and will be completed next week. This will add a clan tag to the user's name, and members of a clan will be able to see clan mates in-game by an icon over their heads. So that's pretty cool. That'll help. I mean, when we were in game the other, well, anytime, sometimes when there's a lot of going on and you have a lot of players and a lot of other players, it's hard to keep track of where your clan mates are. So this is pretty cool. Friends list, join game with friends and seeing your friends in game is next in queue after clans, and that's all he has for updates at that point in time. And he basically states, you know, I hope that clears up a few things. A big part of my time will be spent with the community, figuring out the big issues and keeping an open line of communication with you about progress on the items you're most concerned about. You'll also see surveys popping up on Facebook, on the forums, and when exiting the game. Please, please, please answer these, as they really help us out. So that's cool. So good that we actually have a word on the actual wipe, the player wipe, the global inventory wipe. It may not be what people were hoping for, but at least it's been clarified. And the only thing we need is a date as to when that'll happen, and I would expect within a few weeks anyway, once they wrap up the alpha. So that's it. That's your news for November 2nd, 2012 for the WarZ. What do you guys think? Good stuff? Bad stuff? I don't know. Just keeping you updated. I'm Spider, and I'm out.